Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Ones Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody that is probably no contact with you, and you probably have been healing to let go of, or you have already let go of them. But they are struggling to let go of you. They have moved on to another person or another relationship and continue to think about how their time that they spent with you was better in some way. They chose somebody that didn't have as much perhaps respect for themselves, or their standards were lower. Perhaps this is somebody who doesn't mind if they get cheated on, or they don't react the way that you do. They felt like this was going to be an easy relationship, but instead what they found is that it kind of bores them, and they continually question why they chose that over something or someone that made them more happy. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you got nice weather. Hello, April. Hello, Key Controller. How are we doing? If you would like to get a personal reading with me, my email address is wickedonetarot@gmail.com. They range from 15 minutes long to 55 minutes long, depending on what you're looking for. And I also recently launched memberships, so thank you to those of you that have joined. Hello, Aquaviti. How are we doing today? Yes, I did. All right, let's start with the Edgar Allan Poe and see what else we get about this person who misses the way things used to be with you, but chose somebody who was less demanding, is how they would say it. Somebody that didn't require of them that they change something that they probably do need to change. Hi, Garrett. How are you doing? You're funny. We've got the Eight of Wands, and look, the Three of Wands, it's a whirlpool, like running circles, like Aqua Beauty's talking about. This person is thinking about you, and it drags them into a rabbit hole. It's like they think about how something isn't going well in their current relationship, or how somebody doesn't really compare to you. And then they want to go look at like a picture of you, or they want to go check your message thread, or they think back on like the best memory they had with you, and they fall in. Like they can't stop thinking about it. They can't stop comparing. They can't stop getting irritated with themselves for how they handle the situation. So a lot of things remind this person of you. Hello, Khalil. How are you doing? Hello, Ruben. What's going on? Doing well. Thank you, Garrett. Hello, Luciano. How are you doing? We've got the Two of Wands and the Page of Swords in the reverse. Hermit in the reverse. And the Eight of Pentacles. So we have bookends with the eights. Eight of Wands at the beginning, Eight of Pentacles at the end. I feel like this person's stuck in a cycle, dealing with energy that's very similar to what they gave to you. Wow, sounds like karma. There's something that they've learned or something that has happened. It could be a conversation that went south. It could be somebody told them something and it's like repeating over and over and over again in their mind. It could be for some of you, they heard from a mutual friend that you're dating somebody new, or that something else is going on for you that's really exciting. They're trying to distract themselves. They're trying to busy themselves with whatever they could because they don't want to think about you, and they can't stop it. You live rent-free in this person's mind. What else do we have? Four of Pentacles. Hanged Man in the reverse. And the Queen of Cups. They're holding their emotions inside. They know that they gave up something that they really wanted, a relationship with you, but they don't want to crack. They don't want anybody to see that they feel like regret or that they feel like they should have done something differently. So this Queen of Cups is a card that I really do love. It's one of my favorites. I resonate with it a lot because for me, this is the Queen of Cups that is going through a lot, but holds it together. This is somebody who knows how to put on the like happy face, even though, well, it's not really happy. It's more like, I don't need to like talk about everything right now, or everything might be going on around me, but I can find grounding, right? Because she's standing in the middle of like a river, basically. It's probably like a flooded street, but she's standing. So I've got a lot of emotions. Everything's happening. I feel like I gave up something that made me a better person. I'm just trying to like hold it together and not lose my mind. What else do we have? Six of Cups in the reverse. The Moon in the reverse. And another 8 at the end. So the 8 of Cups in the reverse is clarifying the 8 of Pentacles. This person's repeating cycles, and it's because their intentions are lacking. In other words, they're getting what they put out. So they didn't want to be honest with people. They didn't want to be loyal. They didn't want to be emotionally available. Then they're getting that from other people. They're getting that kind of like distrustworthy, betray type energy, right? And it's making them question why they turned away from someone who is genuine. You. Why did I do that? This is the Rider-Waite or the Waite-Smith. What else do we have? Knight of Pentacles and the 9 of Wands with the 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's taken some time for this person to be honest with themselves about how they actually feel, about what's really going on. But at the end of the day, they've discovered they walked away from someone who was genuine and chose to be with somebody they couldn't trust. And it's making them finally, I feel, look at themselves in the mirror and ask, like, why is it like this? Why did I get myself into this situation when I could have been dealing with somebody that's a lot more trustworthy, right? They're feeling on edge. And what they told themselves was a better option, this person that they've been spending time with, they're finally admitting to themselves that all they really have is a physical attraction or, you know, bumping uglies. King of Cups in the reverse. There's no emotion here. I'm hanging out with somebody. I don't like them. I don't want to get to know them. I don't want to take care of them. This is just somebody who was, you know, not asking a lot of me, and they're bored. They don't want to deal with this person anymore. Eight of Cups, another 8. So I think they're breaking up. Ooh. And the 2 of Cups in the reverse. This is somebody in your past or from your past who is thinking about you. And because of that, and because this person doesn't compare to you, they're breaking up with this person. 2 Cups in the reverse. They're not wanting to deal with this relationship anymore. They don't want to pretend that this is what they want. 5 of Cups and 6 of Swords in the reverse. I don't want to be stuck in my emotions anymore. I don't want to pretend that everything's fine when it isn't. maybe what I really need is a little bit of time to myself, because this isn't going to get any better. They're acknowledging this isn't the person they want to be with. Hello, dear. How's it going? Hello, Michael. How's your afternoon? Four of Wands in the reverse. Somebody may be moving out or moving away. There's a sense that whoever your ex is, how do I say this? They have felt feelings before, but it's the difference between, can I say, between like only getting mono or stereo with music. The people like audiophiles will know what I mean by that. Having that stereo atmospheric vibe to music changes everything. This is somebody who's realizing I was just kind of like going along with emotions. Things didn't really like, it wasn't vibrant. It didn't feel real to me because they've experienced stereo with you. They've experienced living life in a way that makes them happy or feel more true to themselves because they were around you. And then they had to go back to like not feeling excited or alive, you know? Yes, kind of. So it's not so much that you have the audio all around you or that the volume is where it should be. It's the fact that you can have like some instruments, maybe drums in this side if you want, and not in this side. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so you have the control of the two. Yes. What do we have? This is the Voyage of the Soul. What else do we have? Polarity. See, this is like what I was just talking about with stereo and mono, right? Can you control both? They're like, I don't want to go back to living life with like a, I don't know, bland version of what I experienced with that person that I loved that was genuine. They experienced good and bad with you, and it was like amplified. Another music term. Thank you, Aqua Beauty. How you doing, Carl? I hope you're having a good day. Communication. Why is everything about audio right now? Doesn't it just kind of look like it's sound waves moving around? Communication, expression, voice, transmission, message, news, and connection. So this is somebody who remembers with fondness how even though there were ups and downs and disappointments and excitement, that there was something really beautiful about the way that you communicate. The way that you express yourself takes into consideration both sides of who you are. It's not just, I'm a very emotional person, so I'm going to be like really, really angry, or I'm going to be really, really happy. It's that you also have that intelligent, like more like air energy side, right? Where you can focus on the facts, or you can remove that emotion if you need to. There's something here about appreciating the balance that you represent that they cannot find in other people. And it's difficult to forget. I do feel like it's been a while. Seasons, cycles, elements, spring, summer, fall, winter. The season has changed. So I feel like this is at least something 3 months ago or longer. We've got seed, potential, fertility, idea, budding, future, and capable. They see you as like the most powerful or magical person that they've met. You can take nothing and turn it into something incredible. They've seen you do it. We have ascension, upgrade, activation, progress, timelines, shifting, and lessons, distress, dark night of the soul, loss, and experience. They've seen you go through the dark night of the soul. They've seen you lose everything and find a way to rebuild. They've seen you with, how do I say this? I don't want it to come across as like violent. They've seen you with like who you are, like ripped out of you. That's so dramatic. It's not how I would normally talk. So maybe this is how they do, but they've seen you as a shell and they've seen you rebuild it. They've seen you take, it's like Groot, you know, start off a little small, but it gets real big. They've seen you come back from a situation that a lot of people get stuck in. Hello, Laura. How's it going? Dude, I'm sorry I did not get tacos, but I might later. Because that's not easy to forget about. I have to decide where I want to get those tacos from. What's up, Upper Echelon? How's your day? Hello, ducks. Hello, Judah. I hope you're having a good day. What's up, Pie, though? What kind of pie we got today? Humble? So we've got the Four of Quills, which is the Four of Swords. In Pace Requiescat. I think I'm saying that right. That's Latin, I believe, which should be rest in peace. And the Four of Swords is normally depicted with the dude in the church kind of laying down, right? Taking a rest. And the Devil. From every depth of good and ill, the mystery which binds me still, when the rest of heaven was blue, of a demon in my view. You are healing from dealing with this person. This could be an individual that was very manipulative or controlling even. This is somebody who likes to get people obsessed with them or likes to make people feel like they have to do right by them or like please them. This could be an individual that likes to use their power or their money in order to control how people interact with them. Nine of Wells, which is the Nine of Cups. It was a voluptuous scene, that masquerade. I feel like they wanted to show you their power. They wanted to show you what they built or who they were, in part because they've seen that you know how to build. They know that you know how to recover from difficult situations. There's something about you that made them feel not good enough. And I don't know that they feel that very often. So you intimidate them. Justice. A wrong is unredressed when retribution overtakes its redresser. It is equally unrepressed when the avenger fails to make himself felt as such to him who has done the wrong. You want to know what I think? I think there were multiple opportunities for this individual from your past. What shall we call you? King of Cups in the reverse. I might just say King of Cups. I don't really want to call anybody the devil. I think that's a little strong, but this King of Cups in the reverse does avoid emotional connections or doesn't really want to get emotional themselves, but they do like making other people emotional. This King of Cups had plenty of opportunity to address the problems that they had caused to other people. In other words, they probably broke a lot of hearts along the way. They may have betrayed people or been a bad friend, a bad family member, or whatever. But as it pertains to romance, this is somebody who has stomped on a few hearts and not really felt that bad about it. And the universe gave them opportunities to address it, gave them opportunities to learn their lesson, and they didn't. So you know what they did? They sent you. Yeah, your karma. Big difference between karmic and karma for this person, in my opinion, because it feels to me like Somebody's going through a filing cabinet like, man, this King of Cups in the reverse sure is a tough cookie. They won't learn their lesson. Who should we send? No, this one. Yeah, no, they're gonna learn. They're gonna learn today. You were sent to this person because you can get under people's skin. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm saying you are a little bit of a weapon for the forces of karma. And somebody needed to learn about hurting people. So I do feel like this was an opportunity that was like the big boss in a video game. We're going to send you somebody who has unconditional love well within their wheelhouse, right? They're going to love you unconditionally. They're going to be very convincing or very like the best of intentions, right? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't turn those off. And this is your last chance. You can learn your lesson and you can address the things that have made you deal with people in toxic ways with this person who is gold, or when you mess things up with that person, it will be different from those other times when you try to betray someone. Sorry about the ping. Is it really loud? I don't know if I can change it without going over to my phone. So there you are. You are the star. People can choose to follow you and change their life, do better, or they can be like this person down here and wish that they had. Now, don't let that go to your head, okay? You're not going to run around being like, who wants more karma? You look like you need it. No, I don't say that so you can get like a big head and be all like, no. What I'm saying is when you offer that unconditional love, when you have those good intentions and somebody chooses not to change their perspective or approach love in a healthy way, given that opportunity, because you are a blessing, then the cost is heavier than they expect. Because it is that beautiful, right? When you lose somebody who has never done you wrong, that's going to hurt more than losing somebody that you can say, yeah, but they like stole from me. And then they were like talking crap about me behind my back. And, like if I think about it, like I'm really, that's not my type. I'm not really super attracted to them. But if you are everything this person wants and they are not ready to ascend to that level in terms of how they love somebody, and then they lose you, it's a different feeling, because I don't have anything to grasp on to like hate about you, to pretend that I don't miss you. They might try. I am the karma fairy. You're cute. This is the noisy tarot. We've got the 5 of Wands in the reverse, the 9 of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. Karma. So the 5 of Wands, it can be a spicy card, right? It can be talking about like a full-on melee, people getting into an argument, like, what are you talking about? It's in the reverse. The worst kind of anger is when you're mad at yourself. They're mad at themselves. It's been so easy for them to blame other people for how they interact in romantic relationships because they grasp onto whatever that other person did to justify them violently shoving people away from them, emotionally, of course. Hopefully, I don't like violence, okay? This is saying, now I had to actually realize, because you treated me respectfully, because you approached things in a loving manner, I can't just say, oh, well, I'm not going to miss you because you were kind of like lame anyways. It's more so you were always supportive. You were always sweet. You were always considerate. You were always honest. And I walked away from it. This is their last chance to change. I shouldn't say it that way, but it's like you got to get away from how you treat other people because they do have a bit of a karmic debt here. So we've got the Emperor and the High Priestess, Magician in the reverse. There you are. It does not matter what your gender is. You are the High Priestess. Just like the Justice card that came out. Where is it? Right here. You're in the middle, and people have to choose. Am I going to boss up like this Emperor? Am I going to let go of the things that block me and approach things in a respectful way, in an adult way? Or am I going to be this Magician in the reverse? Am I going to do whatever I can to scratch and claw to where I want without doing the things that I know are required to try to get what I want instead of doing it the right way? You are the Empress, or sorry, the High Priestess, that you have that little Torah there. That's about wisdom, okay? You've learned a lot. You can see what people's intentions are more readily than most people. And when they run into you, people have an opportunity to go one of two ways. Do you want to like boss up, or do you want to continue to be manipulative? Choose wisely. Why do I feel like a lot of people aren't choosing wisely? So we have the Nine of Wands. It was clarified by the Two of Cups in the reverse, but then the Nine of Swords, and now we have the Nine of Wands again. So 999. And what number is the Hermit? 9. So you may be seeing a lot of nines. Do you know what that means? Somebody's about to get to the end of a cycle. They are thinking. The Hermit is clarifying the Five of Wands in the reverse, which, if you remember, was introspective. They have to look within after they have spent so much time blaming everybody else for why love doesn't work out for them. They're finally admitting, oh, am I the problem? Do I smell bad? Was it me? Did I forget my deodorant? Oh, I guess I've been self-sabotaging. Hey, Pharaoh, how are you doing, hun? I guess I've been making things worse for myself. I'm in this situation because I didn't want to boss up for somebody. I wanted to just go back to like easy mode when my spirit guides were telling me it's time to like go to, you know, insane level. Not in a bad way. So I'm thinking of, you're going to make fun of me. Please, I welcome it. Make fun of me. I used to play Michael Jackson's The Experience on, is that the Wii? I think that was the Wii. And I know you're not shocked when I tell you I'm actually like really good at dancing. And there was like easy mode, hard mode, and then like insane. And if you wanted to like be even remotely as cool as Michael Jackson dancing wise, you had to go for the insane level, right? What's up, Voyager? How you doing? Look, we've got somebody who had to choose whether or not they were ready for the insane level. If they really wanted to deal with somebody on level ground, you know, if I want to be with somebody who's going to have good intentions, then I too have to have good intentions. So am I willing to take that adventure? Am I willing to go through that dark night of the soul, learn those lessons that I've been trying to avoid? And then at that point, would I be able to come back around to the High Priestess or the person that I'm in love with? Because heartbreak is all a magician in the reverse can manifest. I'm sure there's people out there that are like, Carmen, no, that's not true. You can do love spells. No. I manifested exactly. What I said was magician in the reverse. The only thing you can manifest is heartbreak. Does it take 6 years to figure it out? Maybe. But they can't give out that negative energy and expect some beautiful, glowing, awesome love in response. They can't. It doesn't work that way. They're starting to realize that what they chose for like what they could give was also what they chose in terms of what they could receive. All right, let's get a few from the fairy Lenormand. What else do we have? Number 27, the envelope, the message. Man. So it feels to me like there are people talking about something this King of Cups says, and I feel like it's breaking up with the current person. And people are curious, wondering why. It sounded like that's what you wanted. It sounded like you guys were doing great. Why are you breaking up? They don't know how to answer this question because it's pretty easy to, like, in terms of how they approach things, to just lie about it. But something is like tugging at them, like, why do you want to lie about it? Maybe you should just be honest. But they don't want everybody to know their business. So it's like they're forming new rules or like a new process, a new, what am I thinking of? It's like, not like rules of engagement, but it could be kind of like that, right? I need a reset because I don't want to look at every question as an opportunity to lie. I don't want to look at every interaction as an opportunity to manipulate because this is a very strategic person. Everything they said was in service to getting what they wanted, whether or not the person they were dealing with was aware of their actual motivations, right? This is the Path of Shadows. You're welcome, Rainbow Warrior. What else do we have? Ghoul. Sorry, I wanted to say ghost, but it's ghoul. In the shadows I dwell, feeding on what I can, not remembering when was the last time that life tasted well. That's what I was just talking about. They got an experience with you of real life. Things were more vibrant. Things seemed more real. And then they had to go back to the boring stuff, right? The things that didn't feel real, the love that didn't feel. The other card that I pulled out was Ghost. And I was trying to say Ghost when it was Ghoul. Here we go, you guys. I mean, to be fair, don't they look like an adorable little couple with the pale skin and everything? Just like, oh, you guys from the same place? White hair? Ghost and Ghoul. This is adorable. Clearly a match made in heaven. Here's the problem, though. This is not you, okay? You're not really in this reading. This is somebody thinking about how they mess everything up with you because you're not there. What they don't or haven't wanted to admit was what they chose over you was somebody that was just like them. Ghost and Ghoul. I don't like this person. This person's just like me. I don't like how this person loves. Ooh, I guess that's what I do. The universe was like, hey, here, this is what you want, right? You just want to be like that? Taste your own medicine. What do you think? You like it? Oh, you don't. That's weird. You thought you did. Labyrinth, or labyrinth if you're normal. Among the confusion of the twisting turns and the endless chase, will I find myself in the heart of this maze? So sometimes people get so caught up in trying to figure out how they fit in with everything or everyone around them that they lose their individuality. Do not spend so much time trying to fit in that you forget who you really are. I know in high school, everyone's like, "Oh, I want to fit in. I want to be like everybody else." I wanted to like be called something different because I felt like my name wasn't common enough. Glad I got over that. This is somebody who is still trying to find their own way, their own voice, and they're realizing because they don't like how other people are treating them that they also then should challenge themselves to change how they treat people because that's what it is, right? Haunted house. Within these haunted walls, secrets reside. Ghosts are just memories that will never die. I think for you, you're pretty well determined to let go of this. You know that this person had an opportunity to do right by you, and they chose not to. They chose that old approach or that old style of relationship, even though they miss you. You can only have so much patience, right? Did I say hello to Bitchy Tata? I think I did, but just in case. Hola. All right, let's get a few from the Hidden Truth Oracle. What else do we have? Hey, Illuminati. What's going on? What else do we have? I want to feel that way again. You made them feel alive in a way that these ghosts and ghouls around them cannot. I will wait for a sign from you. They want to know if there's still an opportunity here because they are picking up on maybe you're like totally done with them, right? Hello, Oracle Knowledge. How are you doing? I can't stop thinking about you. I don't react when people mention you. Remember that Queen of Cups and that Four of Pentacles? Yeah, people may ask me about you. People may ask why I'm leaving this person that I'm not in love with. People may ask why I'm moody or what's going on, but I'm not going to tell them. They don't want people to know that they're still hung up on you, or that maybe they don't want people to know that they're emotional. I want to be more than friends. I don't know that this person's able to be friends, to be honest. It might be all or nothing with them. I look for you everywhere. This is the Untold Messages of the Hearts. What else do we have? Thank you, Pharaoh. Within a few months, I feel like this is about communication. So over the next several weeks, they're going to reach out to you. They don't know if it's a good idea. I'm not sure if this is a good idea. I'm overthinking everything. What will everyone else think? Please accept my apology so we can move past this. They are going to tell people about you. This yes card is underneath the I don't react when people mention you. So there's a friend or somebody that they're eventually going to be honest about how they feel about you with that person. Regrets. I should have, I could have, I would have. And the Ghost card. I won't stay for very long. I'm sorry. They're worried that when they come back around, if they do, that they'll just repeat the same behavior. And I feel like that's why you have the Six of Swords energy. You're like, yeah, no, I'm not going to sit around and wait for you to like figure this out, because there's a lot that you need to figure out, you know? But they feel a sense of urgency because they want to try to figure things out before you really walk away from them. All right, this is the situations deck. What else do we have? Settlement, agreement, compromise, and legal. Court paperwork filed. For those of you that know, this person has had to deal with the court system. Maybe there's a fine they had to pay. Maybe there was something they needed to clear up. They have been working to address this issue because for many of you, this was a barrier, something that they used to justify why they couldn't do right by you or why it was a waste of their time to work on healing. Because this is still a problem, you know? I need to get divorced or I need to deal with that debt. Whatever it was, they used this as justification to procrastinate on their healing. Oh gosh. So we've got the Twin Flames card. We've got the Nightlife card and TikTok. So for many of you, this is a twin flame journey reading where you have decided you're done with this person because they did not take those opportunities. Remember I said they had multiple opportunities to fix this, exit ramps from the highway, if you will. But they chose to focus on the wrong things. They chose to be maybe a little bit more focused on partying or distracting themselves. And this clock, it's time's running out. For some of you, you've already decided, like, there's really no way to come back from this. I've learned what I've learned. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for helping me better myself. But you're ready to pivot and look the other direction because with the twin flame journey, there is a time clock. There is a limit. And I think a lot of channels want you to believe or want to kind of feed into that idea that there's one person and you really have to make sure that that works. You have to put everything into that, but you don't. Because the twin flame journey is really about you learning about yourself and what you're willing to put up with, what you're willing to tolerate in the context of a relationship, and whether or not you and your twin flame person can inspire each other to be better people. It looks to me like you've been inspired. You've gotten to be a better version of yourself. You've ascended, but this other person hasn't. And that's when a soulmate or another person is sent to you because you deserve to be with somebody who's going to treat you the way you deserve to be treated. Hello, Ducks. How's it going? Hello, Jam. How are you today? Exactly, Ducks. So even though this person is obsessed, even though this person is thinking about the memories they have with you, and even though they do appreciate that you are the most genuine person they've ever loved, they may also have an appreciation for the idea that if they don't get their ish together on time, they might lose you forever. Wish in the reverse. So it's, I guess, like put up or shut up time, which is the nicer version than the one I was originally going to say. What else do we need to hear today? This is the What's the News deck, by the way. Ooh, good fortune coming to you. There's a lucky break. This, I feel, is meeting somebody new, by the way. Fuego, chemistry, intense passion. Things are heating up. Well, it is a Friday, so I'm just going to tell you right now, there is somebody who, can I be really cheesy and say there's somebody who revs your engine? Is that cool? Somebody who you get along with real well in physical ways. Let's put it that way. You have a lot of chemistry with somebody you're about to meet, somebody who makes you excited in a couple different ways. Good conversationalist, somebody that you're attracted to. You got Steph and Cameron, you know. But I feel many of you are going to be confused or puzzled because you have for so long felt that you were eventually going to end up with this person. You know your intuition is pulling you in a different direction. Listen to it. It's telling you that if your twin flame isn't going to do the healing they need to do, then you deserve to be with somebody who has committed to that healing. You're realizing that there is, in fact, a deadline. And if that person can't do right by you by that deadline, then tough titties. Sorry. You must be this tall to ride this ride. They have to meet certain standards to be your Bonnie or be your Clyde. Whatever it is, you do want this dedicated partnership, but it requires that both people be dedicated. It requires that both people have ascended. And if they have rejected that, then there's somebody who has not rejected ascending that shows up and says, hello, are you single? Would you like to go on an adventure? They might not have that accent. Hopefully they sound way cooler than me. Let's see. This is the Fairy Godmother Oracle. Exactly. Release the unhealed twin flame. For others of you, maybe you don't feel necessarily you were in a twin flame journey, but you do feel like you had several, cycles or chapters with someone who didn't seem to really take seriously the idea of changing those patterns of behavior that were unhealthy. It's about rejection. It's about learning that you don't have to feel guilty about not accepting energy that is disrespectful to you or feels comfortable lying to you. You have greater discernment, you use it, and you protect yourself. And that's why there's a healthier, happier relationship coming to you. You've been honest with yourself and honest with others. They had their chance. If they miss out on it, that's how it goes. All right. So for this new love, this is the Romance Angels Oracle. What do we have regarding the new love? Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. I told you, there's a ton of passion, a lot of chemistry, physical attraction between you and the new person. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. And honeymoon, this is somebody who is serious. They want to move towards living together or getting engaged. They're tired of maybe dating around. And they're very playful, a little bit goofy. They're going to be somebody that makes you laugh. And I feel like this is really important because they disarm you. They help you kind of like let down your guard a little bit since you've been probably quite focused on making sure you don't get entangled with somebody that is unhealed. So they'll help you with that. They'll help you to see that they are good intention type, not, this energy from your past. All right. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Toodles.